Hello, my friends. Welcome back to the channel. We're going to be playing Captain of Industry today, and this is by no means a new game. It's still in early access, but it's been out many years. It just underwent a pretty big upgrade, update 3. This was still a few months ago now, but you know, I play games on this channel. I just want to play, and I'd be playing this anyway. So I'm doing it, and I'm recording while I play. I am by no means a good player. This is going to be like a casual playthrough. There are some amazing streamers who play this, and the scale and detail of logistics they do is it goes beyond what my head fits. But hopefully this is relaxing, interesting content to you. I've been having trouble kind of finding another game to just kind of play a lot of like play a full sequence through, and maybe I'll jump about. But my idea is to always kind of come back to this. So this will go for months probably, and just I'll come in and out of it. It's just such a good game. Look, I acknowledge Factorio is a fantastic game. I love it, and it's the granddaddy of the genre. But Captain of Industry, I think it's my absolute favorite of the genre. Terrain deformation is just so much fun in this game. So everything you see here, we can like these mountainous areas, we can send our excavators through and dig through. We can cut through the mountains, and it's a long, arduous process and satisfying to get through. Everything in the game has byproducts, so managing that byproduct system and dumping, managing the pollution. The game is all about like there's no enemies. The enemy is you in this game. So it's just so much fun. I'm not gonna, maybe you've seen it before. I want to play it as if you haven't, but I don't want to also spend a long time tutorializing. So we're just gonna get going. The main thing is that I am on the new map, which is this enormous map. It's hard to kind of really, uh, you know, like explain the scale unless you've played it, but it's like you just never had a map this size before. You can see we start down here. This is our little settlement, and the reason this map was introduced was because they also introduced trains to really like you need trains to ship your logistics around. Um, so and I haven't really got very far with those at all in a prior playthrough. So hopefully I will get pretty well in. As you know, I do like train games. But so yeah, let's just dive in. So look, the main thing is that everything in the game is orders based, kind of like a colony game. Hang on. So all we have to just essentially put blueprints down, buildings to get them built, or designate areas to excavate or chop down. So for instance, we're going to need these trees and out of the way because we want to kind of be able to build this colony up. And you see this colony is just right now a bunch of shipping containers. So we're going to just designate these as you know choppable. And as soon as we do that, if I unpause, the one tree chopper, a tree harvester we have is now, going to go into action because it has an order. And we want to assign this harvester some trucks. Two of the trucks we have about 8 right now, and they're going to go and follow him around. And we need the trucks because he's going to chop down the tree, and then he doesn't do anything else. He needs to like offload the lumber, and so that will go to this truck, and it won't go anywhere right now because there is no demand. So the whole game is supply and demand. Um, so our but wood is in demand the entire game. Um, and essentially, what we want to do is we need to start our iron smelting operation. We have no iron right now, so just regular iron. We don't have it. And iron, the core building blocks of the game is construction parts. So if I actually go to recipes here, so construction parts feed everything, and they are made up of iron, wood, and concrete slab. So these are the three things that's our first mission. Like we got to kind of get these three going. And so we're obviously cutting down wood. We need to make iron, so we need to smelt iron, either scrap or ore, and we also need to make concrete. Fortunately, right now we there is this one like abandoned com station that has a bunch of iron scrap and concrete. So that's kind of just getting it going. Now, eventually, we're going to have to mine iron ore out of the ground, and we're going to have to um, create concrete as well, which we don't even have the tech to do. But for now, we can survive just on using this. So with our wood, concrete, and smelting iron, we can make more construction parts, which will allow us to make everything in the game. So what we're going to do is first we're going to put down a blast furnace, and the blast furnace is going to, the recipe is going to be this iron scrap plus coal will make us molten iron. And so we'll have our metal casters here that will take the molten iron and turn it um, into iron bars. And so the molten iron will come down these conveyors there and into these casters. Now, you can see also we're going to get molten iron, our very first byproduct, exhaust. So we also need a way for the exhaust to escape. So we're going to place a smokestack on here. And you can see, well, as soon as I put the blueprint down, our trucks run off and start, bringing the construction parts over and building. And then, in addition, once the actual thing is up and running, it's now created demand for iron scrap. And so other trucks went and grabbed some scrap from the comms tower and put it in here. Now we need coal. We have no coal, or we have a little bit of coal apparently, 20. But to make more coal, we actually need to, we're going to both need the wood for our construction parts, but also we're going to burn the wood into coal. So we're going to need our coal maker, which I guess is under forestry now. Okay, so we'll put that in between here. And we can't just put it directly up, I wish we could. So the weirdest thing about the game is conveyors are so critical in the game, but you can't actually build them until tier 2. So you've got this weird situation where you have to create all these buildings without, like, just kind of a few tiles away from each other, and the trucks have to haul everything over. But that's fine. So that'll get made, and then we'll see these trucks right here are just sitting on their wood and they can't send it anywhere. So as soon as this coal maker gets built, there'll be a demand for wood, 18 wood every minute, and that'll get turned into coal. And so now that's been built, the trucks with the wood are actually going to come on over and start loading those in. We can see we're making 7.5 coal a minute. The blast furnace takes 6, so we're over what the coal needed is. So we should hopefully not be just burning all of the wood that we are, inputting from our harvester. But yeah, so now we can see our first molten iron has made its way over to the casters, and they're going to start pumping out iron bars. So there's our iron. There is a little story thing that's telling us what to do here. It's waiting us to produce the coal. I should go ahead and speed it up. And we also get free resources as we complete these missions, which is really handy. It's like a kickstart for us. So we're going to get 50 diesel, 50 construction parts, and 50 vehicle parts. So I'm not going to pay that much attention to all the rewards we're getting. It just kind of, the game, I like these tasks. It kind of keeps you in the game as you are building out. So we do need to build a farm. So the other thing, I haven't talked about it at all, but essentially our core resource at the top here, like all of our trucks, every machine has a worker need. Like there's 8 workers have to work here, 2 workers work in each metal caster. Every truck has a worker. So right now we have 64 available workers. And we're gonna, and for those workers to work, actually we have 90 people, but only 26 of them are working. So we've got 64 available workers, and that's going to be our bottleneck. If we run out of people, we can't build more machines. And for people to survive, they need food and they need to be healthy. So fortunately, at the beginning, they don't need a whole lot. We're going to build a farm, which will simply, and you need flat green land. So we have a lot of land here, but obviously we've got a lot of trees to get out of the way. So I guess I'll put my first farm over here, and we might move this in the future. But yeah, we just need things close together because we don't want the trucks, going back and forth. Actually, I kind of like the idea of, let's put it near our settlement. Yeah, and we'll get rid of these trees. We're going to build the settlement. Will contiguously move out from here. Actually, let's chop down these as well. All right. So the farm, the good thing about the farm is it remains fertilized mainly from like rainfall, which, right now it's cloudy and it'll rain. So this farm will self-sustain and build a certain number of potatoes on its own, saying that the average production, which can vary, 9.2 every 60 seconds. So everything, we're measuring everything in every minute. A minute in the game, I believe, is a month. So it's a whole month goes by. So we're getting 9.2 a minute. And right now, our settlement only consumes, I see a demand on that pop up 3.8, right? So we're making 9.6, it's demanding 3.8, so we're okay. Um, so yeah, so that farm will get going and it'll just start growing potatoes. Potatoes will get stored here and then they'll get sent over to the little food market over here. All right. What else is recommended? So yeah, we want to get our research going. So our research building is our research lab, and that doesn't take any input. The first level doesn't. So we can just throw this here. We'll move this later as well. And so this like little sort of like you know collection of sheds where our guys will do our research. Now, the research lab requires electricity. So we can see here it requires 40 kilowatts of electricity, and it's actually consuming Unity, which is our other resource, which think of it as happiness. In this game, it's essentially happiness. We're currently at a 1.53 positive on that, and it's not only happiness, we need it to just, sustain, but also it lets us do certain things like insta-build items and move, transport things around. So so you can see here, the research lab can't work because it needs power. So at the very beginning of the game, the best thing we can do is a little diesel generator that takes 3 diesel every minute and generates 800 kilowatts. So we'll go ahead and we're going to put that right by the dock, because at the beginning of the game, the dock actually came loaded with a whole bunch of resources that right now we can't actually make. But again, it's what we need until we can start making more. So we've got 500 diesel on the shipyard. So we're going to want to transport that over to our diesel generator. So that's a quick thing. So you can see here he's loading up the fuel and then he immediately put it in the diesel generator. So we're now generating 800 kilowatts. And so our lab, we'll start using it. We're going to start our research. Enormous tech tree, as you can see here, all the way to the idea of getting a rocket. But so what we're going to do initially is we definitely want to get construction going, trading dock, all the early stuff. We'll then need maintenance because everything costs maintenance. So we need to be actually generate this resource for maintenance so things keep working. And then we'll need vehicles. This one's a really cheap one. We'll get little tools. Oh, maybe we'll do the beacon first. Beacon will get more people into the settlement initially. All right, so that can all get going. Yeah, so I don't think we can do much else. I'm going to speed it up. Oh, waste dumping. So you can see here in our settlement, there is 33 waste and room for 100. If we ever go over, and our food production just got done, if we ever go over this amount, the health of the settlement will go down. So we want to actually put in a housing service and waste collection. So I'm going to throw that on this side and we'll put it over here. And what that is essentially our rubbish dump. So I'm just going to insta build that, even though our truck was going to bring over the parts. And you see this is a little waste dump. You see the waste garbage all built up there, and the waste bins. And you can see now this waste dump actually has 39 in it, right? And our settlement no longer has anything. So that all moved automatically over there. And the thing is, this is going to fill up. It will hit 200 and fill up. So what we want to do is we need to dump it. Later we can incinerate it, but for now there's no way to do that. So we can dump it. And the thing is that waste is basically a material that can be used to terraform in this game. So it does cause a little pollution, but it's going to be relatively minor initially. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to highlight an area that we can start dumping. This is showing that the ground right now is at 4 above sea level. Everything's sort of like 1 in some height level. So just keeping this at a sort of, at the same level, I'm going to drag this out and just make a kind of little edge, like a nice straight edge here, because straight edge is good for creating more docks for our shipping. Um, and yeah, we'll just do something like that. Actually, like the idea of a longer straight edge. Maybe I'm gonna get rid of that. But yeah, you can see they were about to dump, and now I've just taken that away and marked it over here. So they're going to go ahead and dump, and you see it getting dumped out into the edge of the cliff there in the ocean. And so now we've got kind of waste, and that will dissolve over time. If I go to health, I think we'll be able to see. So you see, this is the pollution being generated. We've got a little vehicle pollution, like air pollution, and we will see land pollution show up there. So that deals with our waste. Okay, so now we just finished research on construction. So we can actually build our first assembly machine, which is going to build our construction parts. And that's that core things. Remember, we need iron, wood, and concrete. And we have a stockpile of concrete, so we could be able to use that initially. So I'm going to put that over here. And one of the things we could do is, just for now, I'm going to hook it directly into the output of here. So it just means that the iron will just feed directly into the machine. It just gives the trucks one less thing to do, because we can't auto feed the concrete in, and so iron's a high amount of things to fill in. So yeah, so there we go. I'm also going to build another assembly and use this one on the end of the other one, which we'll put it a little over here, and we're going to have that generate mechanical parts, which are kind of like the gears in Factorio. It's like the direct refinement of iron slabs into the next thing, and these mechanical parts are used for a lot of things. So we've got our kind of, when the iron gets generated, it will feed into one of these machines. Any buffer, any output that just gets stuck in this machine, trucks will be allowed to pull out of it. So if they need iron from elsewhere, they can take it directly out of these machines. All right, so you see we've made our first construction parts. So now we should not have an issue. We've got 319 construction parts on the right here. And as long as we've got that continue, as long as we've got a stockpile of those, we can keep building things. Okay, so we just finished trading. So we're going to build a trading dock. And that's kind of like our... I'm just going to get rid of these new things. Let's see. Where is it? Where would it be under? Buildings? Trading dock. Yeah, so here's an example where we do need kind of a good edge so we've got trouble here where the pier won't fit, but we need the rectangular section on the end to come. So we do need sort of a little bit of flat land to place this. It will go here. So let's do that. Wait, I saw it there. Yeah, let's do that one. No, I think that'll be fine where they're filling in there. Might be better to get rid of that one. Maybe we ditch on this and just go one along there. There we go. Okay, so we'll get our trading dock. We also have maintenance up and running now. So maintenance is over here, and what we can see is, so all the pickup trucks, Trios, and diesel generator right now have a maintenance cost, and it's showing what their min-max is like. These, so if you're not using all your pickups, they don't cost maintenance.
Sorry, I had to skip out there for a sec, but essentially what we've done is we've built a maintenance depot on the end of our mechanical parts assembler here, and it's essentially using 12 parts, 6 electronics, which we've also got a stockpile of and can't make right now, to make 220 maintenance units. But note that it's going to build way past, so we only actually need about 11. You can see it fluctuates, the maintenance fluctuates based on how much the trucks are driving around, but so we only need 14 a minute, and this much makes 220. So we need a fraction, 10% of this. So we're only going to be really consuming one gear and half of electronics a minute here. Nothing gets overaged in this, as far as I'm aware. You see here, it's using up 220 kilowatts, and I believe this is very this. It doesn't generate 800 constantly. It will only use what it needs. I believe that's right. So, not super realistic. Obviously, you would typically, electricity is generated at a constant rate, and some of it will just get dissipated. But anyway, what else we got? So we've got our maintenance going. So our trading dock is built. Now trading's a little abstracted in that we've got this dock here. What we can do is this opens up our world map for the first time here, and you can see that we have a village that we know of, a settlement over here, and we can trade with them. And so here we could send them some iron for some concrete slabs, cost some unity as well. So that's another thing that unity is used for. So if I do that, I got a 1-to-1 exchange ratio, 20 for 20. And it's just really that little mission is just a demonstration of if you're running low on a certain thing, you have an opportunity to find another way to it. But then that 20 concrete I just bought now sits on that dock, and it's just available. It's a supply now for if we ever need concrete. So over here we can see we've still got 500 concrete in this old abandoned thing, and so trucks always go to like whatever's closest. So as concrete need, uh, you know, essentially the concrete need is right here. So the trucks are probably going to haul it from the com station, and then eventually we'll take it out of this trading dock. All right, so we're actually done with all research at this point that we had queued. So I'm going to go ahead and so that we're not just sitting idle, let's just do this next tier. So essentially, here's how we can make our first concrete. We're also going to want to make diesel. Diesel, obviously, core resource because the trucks consume diesel. And if we can't fuel our trucks, we can't do anything. The trucks are our moving logistics. And the captain's office lets us set policies that let you kind of, buff and debuff things. So we'll just do all of those and keep that going. So now that we've actually researched vehicles, we could start to get more vehicles because, in typically, although it is showing that we have 5 idle trucks right now, we actually are not at capacity on getting our trucks doing anything. You can see our wood is already stockpiled as well. Like these guys have nowhere to put the wood. Now, one of these things did give us storage, so I'm actually definitely going to start using our storage. So let's go ahead and we'll throw a wood storage. And actually, I think we put it on the end here. Yeah. And so we're going to make that. So that way, because I don't want these guys to ever get kind of held up. I want them to, I want this guy to keep on mining or logging. So, now we've got enough room to kind of put some wood out, even if we're not consuming it as quickly as we are, deforesting. Okay, so vehicles, we definitely want to be able to build more vehicles. So this, again, won't be its permanent home, but we're going to put it here for now. Um, and yeah, because essentially now we can build more trucks. I'm going to build one more tree officer because I want to be able to get, and then we'll build the 2 trucks that'll help it. And then we also want to get an excavator. So we can actually start excavating for the first time. We'll build more trucks for that too. And you see this is, it's just queuing them up. So now how much is that going to cost us? It is, so 70 vehicle parts, and there's 20 per, so that's another 80, 150 vehicle parts. We have 180, so we've got enough, but we are going to need to start making more vehicle parts. They need other little things that we already got, like diesel and iron, just to build. That's not as much a concern as, we can't make more vehicles if we don't do vehicle parts, but vehicle parts are not that complicated. Right here, they are, the same thing, gears and electronics. So the same thing as our maintenance. So no reason we can't sort of just have those getting built as well. So I'm just going to throw another assembler up. Right here, general. And I guess I will... So you want to have at least a 3 wide so vehicles can get through. Let's just throw it here. And yeah, that's going to be our vehicle parts. So it'll take whatever's buffered in here and put them in there. Now that we actually have storage, I wouldn't mind actually, let's definitely, so now this will, so if we do run low on, if our construction parts actually buffer, I want to be able to keep making construction parts. Ideally as well, we would honestly, yeah, because our iron is backlogged, our output on iron. So, you know, we would have storage on the iron coming through. And I think actually one of the missions is going to want that. Uh, so, I didn't actually talk about the settings I have for this game is everything's on default captain difficulty. So it's not the easy one, sailor. It's not the really difficult one. But I changed one thing, which was full refund on buildings. So moving things around, other than the time to do it, is not actually that. It's not expensive because we're not losing any parts or anything. So I might move that soon, but we'll see. So in the meantime, we do have a mission here to get our population up. So you can see we are down to 19 total workers. So if we want to, we're going to soon, as we build more buildings, we're going to run out of workers. So I think we do want to go ahead and get our beacon built. And again, that doesn't require anything. So we're just going to go ahead and throw that right at the dock here. And the beacon just, it consumes Unity and some electricity. It's quite expensive. One unity is quite a lot in this game. As you can see, like, I mean, I'm only making 1.3. That's going to take away one. Boom, gone, right? So now we're really not building up unity very quickly. But it's going to bring in refugees, and you see it saying 14 refugees in some. So it's not. The refugees are not guaranteed. It's some like variable amount of time, but approximately 3 months. So we'll start getting new people in. And then that will mean our housing will start running low. We've got capacity for 69 more, but the mission is saying to build another housing. So we'll do that. We've cleared out here. So let's go ahead and throw up one there. We'll have a kind of L shape. This is quite expensive. It's 80 construction parts, but that's fine. So this is our new harvester, and we need to assign a couple of trucks to him. So he'll be working. So now we've got two harvesters going. So we've got a decent wood input coming in. I'm not sure what they make. You do have graphs, great graphs for all of this, so you can see, um, like, interesting, like, well, that was consumption, a very heavy consumption there, but like, it looks like our peak production has been 40. So I think if the harvester is at a constant uh, foresting, trucks are picking it up, so it never is not working. It's going to do 40 a month. So we could basically assume 80 a month on trees, I believe, as long as there is room to store it. And this is already filled up, so actually, yeah, we're not going to get that full 80. But yeah, we're gonna, our wood consumption is definitely going to go up soon enough. What else are we waiting on? So now you see we've got a new mission for diesel already. Our diesel supply is at 432, so I'm not too worried yet. What's our diesel consumption? You can see it again at the high, it's like 12. So we've got a solid, few years left, 12 months, right? Let's see. So I think it might be time to start processing iron. Yeah. So, okay. So what we can do here is if I turn on the layering, so these colors are showing what is in the ground, and it's essentially like so this is iron, and the taller the stack is like the more iron is available, and the deeper it goes. Like here, it's sort of saying that like there is actually just plain rock at the top layer, and then iron. So yeah, we're basically going to start, and you can actually even see that there's iron in the ground here, but there's also iron underneath, like at a depth. So we're going to just flatten this out and then start digging into the ground. So what I'm going to do is, with the mining tool, again, starting at this like level 4, let's just like drive in to our territory here, and then from that level 4, we're going to start like cutting in and flattening. And we'll do that, and then eventually I want to kind of flatten this all out. You want flat land, it's the only thing you can build on. So what we need to do is we do need a mine control tower, which is how we sort of designate, worker vehicles. So we'll put that there, and then we just need to define the area it's covering, which just bring that back a bit because it needs to all be within this area. And I'll just speed that construction up. And then we assign an excavator to it and a couple of trucks. And so the excavator that has been built out of here. And there it goes. So there's our first excavator. Um, you know, he is going to start mining the iron. And I'm actually also, you can tell him to prioritize iron like that. So, he's not going to be able to just get iron. So you can see he actually just got some dirt. And so now the truck has some dirt in it. And so actually what we need to do is we do need a sorting plant to take mixed loads and separate it out. So we'll go ahead and throw that here. Actually, maybe we'll throw it this direction. And then we need to set this to say dirt, rock, because essentially those are the two core components of the terrain. And then the actual thing we're trying to get is the iron. And so, see, and I'm gonna go ahead and auto build that. It took 5 Unity to insta build it, but I want to get this going. And so what's going to happen here is you can see this truck has a combination of dirt and iron ore. And so once this sorting plant is built, he's going to take it over to here, and it will get separated out, and then a truck can. So essentially, what it means, this truck cannot dump iron ore into one spot and dirt into another. Its mixed load has to get processed through this. So you can see this filtering it out, and then a truck can take out of here, and each one has 240 storage for each of these types of things. Okay, so iron ore mining is complete. We can go ahead and get our reward for that. Now we have iron ore, but we're not processing iron ore. We're only processing iron scrap in this furnace. I want to keep doing that until this iron scrap is gone. This will be exclusively for iron scrap. Meanwhile, though, I think we're going to set up another little. Actually, we really want to. Yeah, let's stop doing that one, and actually even stop this, and start getting rid of the trees here, because I want to start building out from here, I think. So essentially what we're going to do here is we'll set up another, another furnace operation, and this one will just be for iron ore. And let's head in this direction, I think. You want to leave room for some storage, so we'll do, yeah, I'll start there. Okay, and so what I'm going to have here is, let's have our bucket for iron ore, and eventually we're going to get some conveyors to this, and we'll have a bucket for coal. Actually, since we're not mining coal right now, we're just gonna have another coal maker right here. Unfortunately, it can't go right in without blocking. Yeah, I think actually I hate to do it because then it takes forever to get rid of that once it's made. All right, we'll do this. Yeah. All right, and that needs smokestack. Okay, so yeah. And the question is whether we want to throw another wood storage on there. It's actually not room. So maybe something like this. We're actually going to run low on our construction parts. Yeah, we are. So I'm actually going to go ahead and boost our construction part generation there. So that's other things you can use Unity for, is we're using up 0.25 Unity every minute now, but it's doubled the output and the consumption. But we need it because now we're really building a lot. And that's the only thing is the concern. It is 30 for each of these storage. So but yeah, that's fine. Okay, so Actually, sure. Maybe we don't need this until, let's get those parts back. We don't need this until we're actually conveying it in, because essentially all the iron build up here will be sent over here. So let's go ahead and we're going to turn off iron scrap and do iron ore here. All right. Now, once we start processing iron ore, the issue is, and we do need another smokestack on here. Oh, we already got that. Once we start doing iron ore, we actually end up making a new byproduct, slag, and so yeah, we need to deal with that too. Now we can either, again, without conveyors, it's a bit annoying to um, we could have a little storage here for the slag, but essentially what we want to do is just dump it right now. So right now we are allowed to dump slag. We've set slag up to dump. So essentially slag will come out of this. People, our trucks will pull out of here as this slag builds up, and it'll dump it, wherever we have dumping outside. So it will be a long journey for the truck to have to kind of come do it. But I might leave it like that for now. The other option you have is setting up a little dumping ground where, for instance, we could set up like like just a little hill, a little mound here of slag. But I don't want to do that right now. I think we're fine letting the truck drive back and forth and deal with it. Um, let's see. Yes, he says dump slag. So yeah, once slag gets generated here, see already 8 units made. That'll get dumped at some point when it gets too high. You can set things like priority. Like I'm going to set the priority down to 5. So this is now a higher priority than any of the generic machines. So the truck should care about dumping. Now this is saying it wants unit storage for iron. So yeah, this is where we have the bit of an issue, is that the iron's coming out, but we're not storing it. So I think I'm going to, yeah, we'll do it on this one. So I'm going to go ahead and delete, which, bit of a problem, because yeah, like I said, you run into this thing where, so I'm still going to delete this, and let's just kind of move it down. Need to figure out what that's going to be, because essentially what we want here is, can't put a blueprint down while this is in the way. Let's see if I can just, there we go. So what I want to do is, we want a storage here, and that's going to be iron parts. Okay, and then I'm going to want a construction, our assembler back here, like that, and then we'll move this down 1. So I just need to kind of line it up. It's a bit annoying. So it looks like right there is where it needs to be lined up. So that should do it. And so yeah, I want to construct this, and then because that's made, they should move all of this over here. Hopefully they will. Let's just speed this up. So yeah, the trucks should, and if I set this to like high, yeah, okay, and he's gonna move it, and he moves it into this. There we go. Oh, this should not be that. There we go. Okay. All right, cool. And then let's get our assembler going. Hopefully I line that up right. I'm gonna find out. Yep, that's good. All right, and so that's construction parts again. There we go. So that got us this reward, and now we're kind of buffering up a bunch of iron here. Here we're not. I mean, ideally we would do the same. I suppose we could. What is the? It's a little bigger. This one's a little bigger, isn't it? Or is it? No, I guess it's exactly the same. Okay, so it's really just move it all down 1, I think. And move him down there, and then, and I believe it transfers over. Like we have this 99% of maintenance stocked up. So as long as this gets built, I believe it will buffer up. Like if I now delete this one, we don't lose the maintenance. It's still buffered. Yeah. And then we'll do the same thing here. So we'll have a storage for our mechanical parts going directly in. Just burning through our Unity to get this done quicker. There we go. And so yeah, let's put that in there. Oh, and it doesn't line up. I screwed up. Oh, so annoying. So annoying. One space too far. All right. All right. Well, I guess that's fine. They'll have to ship the mechanical parts over, but oh no, I'm doing it wrong anyway. Oh no. Yeah. Stop. 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 Okay. What I want is no more of these. Yeah, I want one of these. And then one of these. But it's still, yeah, it doesn't line up. That's fine. I mean, I could. It's just we're going to lose it because you can't move it without losing the maintenance you build up. I mean, I'd have to literally. I mean, I guess it's fine. This is so goofy, but that's why we have full refunds, so we can move this all over the place. So that's built. Delete you. All right, and then yeah, and that wants to be mechanical parts. All right, and then I suppose we could even stockpile mechanical parts. It's just good to have stockpiles. And then we'll have the maintenance yard feed right in. Although now that diesel generator is blocking, it's fine. They can get around. They'll go the long way. All right, really burning up the Unity, but let's just get this done. Okay. All right, delete this. There we go. Okay. All right, we've got our stockpile reward. There we go. Yeah, I hate that is... all right, fine. We'll move you over here. And then we can delete you once that gets built. Come on. Put some fuel in it. All right. He'll put some fuel in. There we go. Okay. All right, what does that leave us? So, you should say the everything dictated by these colors, and see our construction parts are low again. We really want to be able to. I'm going to go ahead and put Unity on that, so that'll build quicker. We really want 2 of these going, honestly. But yeah, basically, all of this is all temporary. Like once this has run out, there's no reason to be making iron here, which means there's no reason to be making anything over here anyway. But yeah, that's fine. I guess while we've got, we're gonna need another excavator. Let's do that. Build more trucks. Okay, yeah, he's still going. See, he's digging in. We have this one going. Okay, so diesel's the next recommendation, and concrete. So concrete means limestone. So that's why I might as well have got our extra excavator going there. And yeah, let's get some limestone in and start creating concrete. How is our concrete? It's pretty low. Yeah, it's down to 152. Oh, there's 400 in there. I guess it's showing 152. There's 100 at the shipyard. I like to set this to keep empty as well. Because essentially when our ship actually starts going out into the world and collecting resources, it won't be able to unload unless this is all clear. Something else actually we should be doing, I just realized, is we have copper and rubber, and that's what makes electronics. So there's no reason not to just have a little assembly operation going here, just making electronics. So I think I'm going to do that. Yeah, let's do that. So you'll be making electronics, and we'll just throw storage on for that as well. Yeah. Because yeah, there's no reason not to be using, like, copper is literally for nothing but electronics. So yeah, we should start using it and clearing out the shipyard. Rubber does get used for not diesel. Diesel makes rubber. What else is rubber used for? Conveyors, maybe. So you don't want to use it all up on electronics, but that's using this amount up on electronics is fine. Yeah. So okay, let's see. So yeah, let's set up our limestone. And yeah, same deal. Let's just like dig in straight and then start getting the limestone there. Oh, why is that 6? That's not good. We want to keep the same depth. All right, that's fine. And then I have to put down a control tower for it. Of course, I messed up the area there by 1 pixel. Go. Excavator, 2 trucks. Now, same deal. Like, do the sorting plants are very expensive. Quite a lot of electricity, 100 kilowatts, so 1/8 of our total output right now, and 80 parts. But if we don't put a sorting plant down here, then all the output coming out from here is going to have to be sent over here. Plus, there's not really room for anything except one more product here, lime. So I think you just need another sorting plant at each mining location, unfortunately. So we'll put that here and set that one up as well. So same deal, dirt and rock, and then limestone is what we need here. And then, so to make concrete, we do it in this kiln, and it uses limestone, coal, and water. So we know we're going to get the, let's see how much. It's a lot of limestone. Ideally, we'd just be taking it straight out for now, which we can't do because the water line is there. So yeah, it's going to have to be trucked, unfortunately. But it is what it is. So let's do that. We'll set up another coal maker over here. Again, until we're mining coal, we essentially we're just gonna have to, make it. I'll put a wood storage in there. And that just said that we're actually making too many potatoes. So water, now that uses a lot of real estate, but it's all we can do for now. So we're not getting water out of the ground. So this is a rain collector. So what we're actually going to do here is, how much water does this need? It needs 6. These collect on average 4, so we could have 2 and then never have it. But I think it'll be fine, especially if we set up a, just in case we want to add to it. Let's throw that there, and then we can pipe this over. I guess if we want trucks to be able to come over, then with pipes, you want to make them too high, like so. See, so the truck can actually go under there. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to put it at max speed. See, the real problem we have is our construction parts down to 8, so yeah, we really want another construction part operation happening here. I want to get us to convey as quickly as possible. So yeah, the next thing up is going to be these constructions. Go ahead and do that. And then we can get to conveyor belts. So once we can get to that, conveyor belts requires these construction parts too, which is regular construction parts plus electronics. So, we can do that right now. We're making electronics, but just we're not making the raw parts for it yet. Coal maker needs an exhaust. Okay. So yeah, I forgot to put. Whoa. Did I do something wrong here? I think I had this the wrong way around, apparently. Wait. Yeah. Oh no, it's got to be on this side. That's fine. Yeah. Here we go. All right. So we'll let all this build. Not much we can do. I'm not going to Unity it. I'm just going to leave it on fast because there's no, there's no danger of anything. We just need to really start stockpiling. Give the game time to make more construction parts. Nothing's at a negative balance. Unity's pretty close. Can see vehicle air pollution. Oddly, no land. I thought you do get land pollution, but yeah. Research labs in the beacons using a lot of it. Um, we can start getting more Unity at some, basically as we get ability to create more food and health options. Just gonna let that keep going. Should get to diesel. How are we doing on diesel? Still got a big stockpile of it, so I'm not too worried. But I guess I don't want to start building anything until our construction parts is way above 4. That definitely needs to keep building. Yeah, and then not getting any water in here until this gets built. Can't speed it up. Let's make that the priority. Construction priority. So yeah, because unfortunately they're building although the pipe will need to be, but this can be lower priority, the exhaust. Because yeah, it's got coal and limestone, it's just waiting on the water. If I forget to put the pipe in, yeah, I did. Just gonna. Okay, so this collects water, and that goes in here. When this pipe gets built, you see we've got a little water here. There we go. And now you see the water running through the pipe, and the kiln has lit up finally. And so now we are actually making concrete, and that got us our reward. All right. Unfortunately, didn't leave room to stockpile the concrete, which is a bummer. Until we get conveyors. Yeah, but without conveyors, it's very like hairy. Like the trucks just have to keep running around and shipping things from one little machine to another. All right. Oh, and we're done with tech. So yeah. Oh no, we're not. No, it's building. Oh, actually, something else. You need to keep an eye on this because you see, we've had all these refugees come in. When they come in, they actually bring with them iron scrap, more fuel, more copper, more rubber. So we're not making these resources, but our new refugees are bringing them to us. We don't want to get too many, but I'm definitely going to bring in enough until we've maxed out our current housing. And I'm not too concerned as long as we're not going over. See, our current demand on potato is 8.1. So we are actually, if we bring in too many more people, we're not going to be making enough potato. So yeah, okay. While we've got 88 workers, I'm going to go ahead and pause bringing in our guys, and yeah, that way we're making enough food. All right. Yeah, and what else is going on here? So, yeah. Oh, and these are all little tutorials. Don't need to do those. I'll just clean up all those. There we go. All right. There is a list you can go to here, which just shows like tech, and it's really handy because what I can do is like once I've used it, I'm just going to get rid of it, right? These are the old ones that we did right at the beginning. So we're making concrete now, so I'll get rid of that. But we're not making diesel, so I'll leave that in here. We haven't built a captain's office. We are not making copper. So, now I've got kind of like these are like my missions once these goals, because these goals don't stay forever. These are like kind of early game. But then it becomes like, okay, have you utilized the tech that you've researched? So, yeah, I mean, really the next up here, rubber as well. We are going to need rubber. So, yeah, rubber requires oil though. So yeah, so we need to start mining. So where is our oil patch? So yeah, there's a tiny oil patch right there, nice and easy. So yeah, let's go ahead and start drilling. Yeah, because you see our construction parts have really built up again. So essentially an oil pump, 20 crude for 60. The distiller does 60. So 3 oil pumps will keep a full distiller going. It only wants 2 for some reason. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do all 3 just because why not? Um, so, just basically, it doesn't matter where the patch, we'll just do it right at the edge here. So let's do something like, I think, 1, 2. Actually, yeah, what we can do is, oh, no, oh dear. Yeah, so there's something called blueprint mode, which you can plan it out. You can plan it out without the trucks coming along and doing anything. I mean, you could also pause the game, obviously, but so if I go into blueprint mode, so now, like, even though the game's not paused, you see how it's gray. So they're not gonna start building until I've taken it out of blueprint mode. So what I wanted to do here was go, and then we'll put another one nice and compact right here. And so what we can do now is we can just pipe out here. Yeah, let's just pipe that way. Connect him in as well. There we go. So all of those are going to come in. The pipe has a throughput of 60, the low level. So all three of these will be able to fill this pipe up. And then out of this pipe, we want to start refining. So we've got our basic distiller here. So that is looking for that oil. And then this, of course, needs coal again. I'm going to move this up. Move that over there. This is going to need another coal maker. Really, we should be starting to mine the coal out of the ground instead of burning the wood. But again, we've got a lot of wood. I'm not too bothered. We need somewhere for it to go. So we'll throw a coal maker on right there. Smokestack. Yeah. And how much coal does that use? Yeah, so that's fine. And we need another smokestack. And now we'll be making fuel. And so let's definitely start to, we'll have a stockpile of fuel ready to go, like that. And then this is our wastewater. So what we need to do is basically just send this into the ocean for now. A lot later in the game, there's ways to clean this up. So what we're going to do here is raise this up by, well, actually raise it all the way up to 5, because then any vehicle can get under it. And let's just do, where does this need to, maybe we'll do it. Sure, right down here. Okay, so yeah, I'll just go the whole way. Okay. Yeah. All right, so do that, and then we need the dumping. So we've got our liquid dump, like that, and just bring the pipe down into it. There we go. All right, set that dump to dump wastewater. See that creates a 1-to-1. Each water is 1 pollution point. Which is a pretty bad ratio. You get much better ratios, like how much was the exhaust? Okay, now we can actually say, go ahead and build all this. There we go. And now that'll actually get built. So, yeah, the exhaust here, like exhaust, what is exhaust? Yeah, exhaust is pollution of so it's like is half, right? So exhaust is half as pollutant as wastewater from making our rubber or our oil, sorry, our diesel. And there go our pumps, and they're filling up this pipe, which will then go into our distiller. She could say no trucks need to deliver here because the oil's going directly in and then the coal's going directly in. And same for this. Don't need to send diesel over to it. All right. Once again, our construction parts are low again. So you can see that as soon as you do any kind of like that was the single building project to get, diesel produced, right? And that project completely absorbed all of our buffered construction parts. So we're definitely going to get to a point where we need more. How's our see actually the comms tower is almost taken down. So all the iron scrap's gone, and now it's just concrete. So actually, yeah, now this has all become completely inefficient here because the iron. So I'm going to tear all this down because we don't want iron scrap being sent over here anymore. Um, so yeah, so let's just break all that down, and I think our we need to basically move our manufacturing operation to a more central spot where iron, wood, and concrete are getting collected. Or there's not really a central spot because the concrete's getting made here, and then the iron's getting made here. So it's there's not really anything more central than this spot. So, but I'm a bit worried about setting up too much. I mean, I guess this is a pretty decent area for manufacturing. It's not terrible. I don't love though in the long term, we're gonna have to find a way to route a lot of resources here because as the manufacturing techs up, we need more and more types of things because we're gonna need electronic parts for that next level. And the copper is coming from all the way over here. So yeah, um, I don't know. I think maybe we could keep our manufacturing over here. We're just gonna have the iron shipped in. Hmm. I think it's a good point to stop though, and hopefully this is a good introduction to the game. Um, and you can see where it's going. Got a long, long, long way to go. Like I said, this is to get to rocket ship is even like someone who is like a speed runner. I don't know what I would be very surprised if there's a speed run under 100 game hours, let alone like whatever the sort of the in-game years would be. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it here. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you at the next one. Bye for now.